Today on this channel, I will be demonstrating how to use electrolysis of water to separate hydrogen and oxygen atoms and hopefully to get enough hydrogen gas to fill up this. The first thing that I'm going to do is solder the wire onto the two ends of the battery, also known as the terminal. Since I've connected two batteries, the first end will be over here, the second will be over here. This is the negative and this is the positive. I will be referring to those later to tell which gas is being released from each of the wires. One of the main reasons I used a 9-volt battery is due to the fact that both of their terminals are very easy to solder with. In the next step, I will use the soldering iron to puncture two holes on either side of the container. The holes just need to be big enough for the wires to go through. Okay, so what I just did was I took the wire that I had soldered onto the batteries and I wrapped it around the batteries to make it a little bit easier to work with. And after I did that, I put the wire through the holes that I made in this container. By the way, this is a tennis ball container. I just found it in the garage and it's pretty easy to work with. That's something that I would assume most people would find easily accessible. And so then what I did was I took the silicone and you could also use hot glue for this, but I just put it around the wire in the opening to hopefully seal off the opening and make sure water does not get through there. I filled up the container, the tennis ball container, with water. I filled it up most of the way full, and it doesn't really matter how full it is. The larger the volume, the more salt you can put in, but that really does not have an impact because you're not going to be using electrolysis to take apart every molecule of water in here. So my point is the volume really doesn't matter. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some salt. Like I said before, it really doesn't matter the salt as long as it's NaCl, which is table salt, which is, well, yeah, that's what I'll be using. So, the difference should be pretty clear. Right now, it's already releasing a little bit of hydrogen. I don't know if the video picks that up, but, it is releasing a bit of hydrogen. The oxygen being released on the other terminal, the positive terminal, because oxygen is anion, it is not nearly as drastic. You can see a lot of hydrogen being released, and that'll be a lot more clear in just a moment. So I'm going to pour some in. Let's just wait for that to calm down a little bit. And I believe you can see now the amount of hydrogen being released is much more. Much more. Okay, so when I came back, clearly something has happened. I'm not really sure what the green is, but I know that the yellow at the bottom, that is chlorine. Chlorine oxidizing, and it's yellow. So I found out what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a strong magnet and a nail, and I'm gonna end up filling this up with water, putting it over the terminal, and then using the nail to hold it in place. So now I'm gonna fill this up with water, and in the meantime, I found something quite interesting. You can already see all the hydrogen being produced without collecting it even by, say I just take the lighter, put it right over. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but the flame, it actually has like a orange aura around it that's the hydrogen burning, and I found that interesting. But I'll be back when I fill this up and get all set up. Okay, so I just submerged the little container using the magnet, and there's the screw that I used. I'm back. It's been about an hour since I started that time lapse. I did not get as much hydrogen as I wanted. I would say the container's only about halfway full. In previous times that I've done this, I've gotten it full, and sometimes with more to spare, so it exceeds the container, but that's a good amount. So I'm gonna just take this off. Out comes this. I'll clean that up. I'm fine if a little bit of air goes in there. Won't really make a difference. But don't want much water in there. So the hydrogen is the lighter gas, and it's gonna float up. But now I'm going to just, I'll move this out the way for now. And let me just take my thumb off of here and light it. So yeah, that was definitely hydrogen. Let me see if well, yeah, that was pretty. That was good. I mean, it worked pretty well. I'm pretty sure there was a good amount of oxygen that got in there, just from the surrounding air when I took it out. Because if it was just hydrogen, there would have been a flame. But that was more of a pop, so it was a, I guess it's more explosive, of a, reaction, since the oxygen was added in there, but still not a large reaction. It was a good amount of hydrogen that I collected. So, that's all for this experiment. Oh, I did find out what the green stuff on the top of the container was. That ended up, that is, iron, well, it's a reaction of iron and, chlorine, and, iron chloride, I believe, and, it's normal. It likely is from the electrolyte that I used, which was table salt. So I used Epsom salts. That probably wouldn't have happened. Plus, I was using, of course, steel wire, and that's where you got the iron from. But overall, it worked pretty well, and in future videos, I will be, like I said before, I will have a series of videos step by step as I go through beekeeping this year, and I will release a few videos hopefully in the following weeks just with other science experiments like this. So If you do like this content, please do like and subscribe. This is my first video, and goodbye.